Hello and good morning. My name is Ace. I'm a hobbyist. We like doing art, and it's art time. Okay, this is what we've been working on. We're working on a workflow here. Okay, doing a 3D mesh of a character. This is a character I'm creating for a webcomic, and well, the body is pretty much good. I think for right now, as far as the shape of it and everything, we haven't gotten the color and the skin in yet, but we'll get to that. Okay. Right now we're working on clothing, which I've never done before. I'm working on some boots here, some combat boots. This guy is like a soldier type character, and like I said, I've never done clothes before, so we are just learning how to do clothing. That's what I'm working on, and we're going to get started right now. Okay. I see that some things here that aren't super symmetrical here, but we're going to adjust that somehow. Try to bring it in line. See, I think I know what I can do here. I'm gonna take off the x-axis really quick and just work on this side. Try to bring that up some. See if we can get. We don't need it too perfect, but we want to try to do the best that we can here. So that way, when we create a mesh and the mesh itself is the final result, then you won't, those shortcuts will be taken here, right? At least if as long as we can help it, we try to minimize the shortcuts as much as possible. If I want to use this for a game or something, then I have something that is a little more complete. It's the goal here. But for the purpose of this particular mesh, it'll be used as a reference. I think some of whatever I can't fully accomplish here, like I'm thinking like how I'm gonna do the shoestrings. I think maybe we can. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at a picture of boots right now, as far as how the sh- the shoestrings are gonna go. We could carve them in a little bit, or maybe we can make them a separate mesh and then just maybe clip them in somehow. I don't want to make them this tight. See how these kind of put the shape here of the flaps where they go a little far further apart than they are in here. They're super tight. There's no feet in them either, so that's probably done for show. That's one of the pictures of boots. I got a couple of pictures of boots I'm looking at. The general shape of the boot, I feel pretty confident in. Right now, we're working on the bottom. Okay, we're gonna turn on that before we forget. We don't want to forget. Okay. I'm trying to define the grips on the bottom of the boots a little bit more, and we're going to attempt to get those, get that a little more defined. Okay. So that's what we're working on right now. Now, I think what I should have done was instead of just doing like a cursory sculpt design, like a really rough design here, like I chose to do. I think what I should have done in hindsight was just work on one little we'll call them like a little exclamation point at a time to shape it in and then bring it out so that way we have the full shape going, the corners and everything, and then just move on from there. But last Wednesday, it's the last time I streamed. I think I just did like just a little cursory thing, just kind of sculpted in the stars and the heel real quick. But the next time I do boots, it's going to be like four people total that are dressed similarly. We will definitely do the boots that way. We know how to do them now. At least get to this point. So it'll be a little bit better next time. It'll be a little bit faster too, hopefully. I'm working a little slower here because I'm moving my workflow from ZBrush. I'm still figuring things out on Blender. I know it's been a bit since we've been on this guy here. But don't fret, okay? It's what I am doing is I am streaming one character, but off stream I do the other characters as well, just to speed up a little bit because I feel like if I stream the process of each character one by one, you're not gonna see the webcomic this year. Okay, I don't want. I kind of want to get it. You want to kind of get something going, sometime in the near future. Like I said, I only need 7 characters to start working on the first couple of pages, which I do want to do. I do want to do as much as I can on stream, but just for the purpose of speeding things up a little bit, we will. Uh, we are doing some of the meshes that we need in between streams, and I'm sure you'll see some. As the quicker I can do one mesh, I'm sure you'll start seeing the others too. Like, but it won't be from the start. I'll probably just like if I get done with this, you'll probably see the next one, and I'll probably be hopefully past the topology phase at least with that one. So we're gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on this one. These 3 are kind of set in a little bit. Um, I'm kind of going off script here. This isn't what the bottom of the shoe looks like, as you can see here. Well, we probably should have got a better picture for this, but it kind of has like this little angle and ridge here. Mine is more like like an exclamation point. I don't think that's gonna matter too much. Like I said, I don't think there's any point where I'm gonna have to really focus on this part of the boot when drawing a panel in a webcomic, but it's there if I need it. So we're prepped for that. Even if I decided to just make this completely flat, like a dress shoe or something, I could probably just draw in these grips anyway. But I wanted to learn how to do them. I wanted to learn how to sculpt them. So sculpting. All right, so I'm gonna work on this some more. Let's stay on one at a time. I want to try to do that. That way, when I do another boot, we have a good idea of how we need to accomplish making a boot. I was actually on this one. I wasn't on this one. I'm gonna stick to the same design here. They're not all the same shape and spacing. As you can see here, I'm pretty sure this is because of the angle, but these two over here look closer than these two, and they're not the same angle. I'm assuming that's some kind of like trademark design, maybe. If someone tried to do that, I don't know. I actually don't know why it's like that, but so we can be a little bit more liberal in. Oh, that's the wrong brush. We can be a little bit more liberal in how we do the bottom of the shoe, as long as it looks like the bottom of a boot. I'm just gonna go with that. So let me scrape this down some to bring it in line with these two. I scraped these down already, I think. Pretty sure I did. Let me see. Let me let's rotate the boot around a little bit and try to see what we got here at a different angle. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one we're working on, right? Doesn't matter. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it all. It looks a little rounded. I'm gonna scrape it right here. A little bump here. We could pull the wear and tear card in terms of quality, but I want to try to make this boot as accurate as possible, just so I know how to do boots. This is my very first time doing boots, so we're going to try to do what we can here. Now, in order to, we're going to stick with the the exclamation point design here. All right, how about the draw sharp? We're going to now do corners. I might actually need to remesh this. So I'm thinking, just fine by me. Just want to try to get this going here, right? And we're going to put a corner here, here. Probably make this a little more like square, and a corner here to cap it off. All right, we want to scrape that down. So I'm gonna see I made a little bump. You see, it's getting a little pixelated. That means we are running out of polygons to work with. We're gonna have to remesh it. It's not a big deal. Just we won't be able to manipulate the polygons as much when it starts getting like that. Okay, so we're going to. We want to work on this one. I want to try to keep them the same width too. So see if we can kind of like push that together a little bit without messing up what we just did. Not totally. These are just like still the longest. To be honest with you, this is not even at all, but it's okay. They're not completely even, but it still looks like the bottom of a boot. If you just look at it, I think we're doing all right. Once we get it more defined, then we can probably adjust the shape of it and the width and the length and all that. But so far, so good, I think. I hope. All right, we take this radius, we take this brush down a little bit. Okay. We're gonna scrape this. Scrape it up. I'm gonna add the square here. Okay, he squared. This really isn't a square here. Let's try flattening this like so. And then I'm gonna cut, make a little division here, right here. These should be two separate squares. For some reason, I did not define that fully. Wow. Okay, let me try to do this. Or better yet, maybe we can make these squares thinner to bring them in with these two, which are kind of melded together a little bit. You know, I don't want to try to spend too much time on this. I've already spent a lot of time on the boots, but that's only because we've never done them. So we're trying to figure. We're kind of like learning as we go. I'm just trying to get it to where it looks like a boot. So we're gonna scrape this, scrape it out. Okay, looking around here, see what we got. I see it has a little bump here and there. Even though we scraped it, oh, we don't want to do that. We scraped it down a lot already. But I think what we can do now to fix that is to take the grab tool and just push the rest of it up. Ugh, that's a little better. take a look here. Got to keep looking at it from all angles. We don't want to keep working on one side of it and then we turn it around and it looks completely destroyed on the other side. This is because we've been working on just the first three things here, so it's a little leaning on one side. We're going to push that whole area up some. Okay. Here on the bottom, it looks fine. It's okay, I guess. I guess it'll turn out fine. Not really sure. Honestly, we wanted to. Okay, we push it up a little bit too far here. I can see the feet of the character. I'm gonna pull that back down. Voila, it's fixed. Like I said, we could probably just, if we really wanted to, we could probably just stop just doing the bottom right now, and then when we get to drawing this on the page, we can easily just adjust this. But I'm trying to not take as many too many shortcuts because, as I said, we got to figure out how to do it at some point. So we're doing it. Okay. Trying to figure out what needs to be done now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some corners here. Here. Doesn't look like we're doing anything. I'm going to need the amount of voxels here in order to make this look the way we want to make it look. Be a lot of detail. Most of the detail is going to be on the bottom, most likely, and probably depending on how we do the boots, the laces will be pretty detailed too. We're not going to worry about that now. We're going to try to get this part done. All right. Now let's see if we can cut ourselves a corner without cutting corners. Cut a corner into the bottom of the boot. Or sorry, into the this little grip here of the boot. It's looking a little better now. We can see the results of what we're doing for the most part. It's very subtle because I have the strength a little low. We don't want to manipulate too much too quickly because that will diminish the shape that we've already established here. And the feet are going to bust through the boot here as a result, and we don't want that. We want to try to keep the shape. So I have the thing low enough to where it doesn't deform the clay. The clay, it's not really clay, but you know, get it. I've never sculpted anything before this, but it was still relatively easy to get into. I'm pretty happy with how much I've learned so far. Uh, Not flatten, we want to scrape. Best I did was I worked with Play-Doh. that's that's not even a work. Like I was playing with it because it was a toy. Probably shaped some stuff with it. I don't even remember. Maybe a ball. You smash the ball and that's it. And you try to. I don't know. I don't even remember how I played with Play-Doh. Beyond that, I know I tried to sculpt some like form some kind of shape with Play-Doh, or you just smear it on something. But that's the best that I've done with clay. Okay, I've never really sculpted a person out of it, and we're gonna have to sharpen these corners here. Let's see what we got. All right, we're gonna work on the next grip here. I'm gonna try to keep them a little bit the same size from here on out. I know these ones are longer than the ones on the side, but that's okay. we're going to flatten this a little bit. Let's see, what do we got? We got to flatten it some more. It's a little rounded. I should work with my stylus, but I'm actually using the mouse right now. That way I don't have to put the glove on. I don't have to smear the screen. I know how to do it with the mouse, so I'm just doing it with the mouse today. But normally I would do it with the stylus because the stylus has a little bit more control than a mouse. You have the pressure sensitivity that kind of helps. Mouse is like, it just goes from 1 to 100 as far as sensitivity. All you have to do is just click the button down, and you got full power. I adjusted the strength. Well, not this strength, but I adjust the strength so using the mouse isn't so bad. But with the stylus, you have a lot more control over how much you affect the model that you're trying to do. All right, so I'm gonna take grab tool. I'm gonna put the radius up. I'm gonna push in over here. That's why we like to do flatten, because you can see where I just kind of put an indentation there. Just a little bit. But fear not. We'll flatten the rest of it like so. It's a little bit flatter now. Okay. Now we're gonna take the draw sharp brush. And I'm going to cut the corners into that little groove there, the little rip. Oh, we may have I see we kind of didn't scrape it all the way. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do that. I think that's what I just did there. It's that thing, that little bit there. All right. Since we're going with a question mark here, I kind of did that without really following the reference. I don't sometimes I don't follow the reference 100%, but that's okay. It's not meant to be fully copied, I guess. I mean, you don't have to. I mainly use it as a guide. It's like I want to just get an idea of what something looks like if I don't know how to draw it or sculpt it in this case. But then from there, we can decide if we want to put our own little spin on it. I guess that's what I did. It was kind of unintentional. I was following it, but then instead of doing this little shape here, also this is a very bad picture, I'm sorry. This little shape here where it kind of dips in a little bit, I kind of just did the two basic shapes, which is a big rectangle and a small rectangle, and I put a notch in between them like that. And once I realized that's what I did, I just kept doing it. I had the basic shape there, so all I really need to do is just define that shape some more, and then put the corners in, and I kind of just did that without really following the reference too much. All right, let's see. Oh, what do we got here? What do we got here? All right, so we're going that little smaller square. I'm going to try to define that a little bit more. I'm going to build it up, clay strips. And then we're going to cut. We're going to define that cut a little bit more. Am I doing this right? Okay, I was doing it backwards. I was holding control, which actually reverses the effect of the brush. Instead of making a cut like it's supposed to, it was actually making the opposite of a cut. It's making a hill. It's making a raised cut instead of a concave. It's a convex cut. So now I'm correcting that mistake right now. You want to use the raised version for when you're trying to make a corner. So like this is kind of more rounded. So I hold down control and make an edge there. That's what basically how I created these little ridges here. So that's what I'm going to do for all of the ridges. It's all worn and round over here, but here it's a little more sharper. We're just going to keep defining that over and over until we get it to a point where it's essentially, it looks like a grip, the grip of a shoe, or the sole of a shoe. The grips in the sole of a shoe or a boot. Although a lot of shoes have grips too when they're soles, but not like this. Oh, I just realized, we are gonna have to make like regular like sneakers and whatnot. I think those are more very, very intricate designs too. Not like more than this, more so than this. Like you have round ones, and that's not gonna be fun. I don't know. Maybe we'll have it down by then, but that's gonna be tedious trying to do this. I've already spent like what 2 or 3 streams on this boot, but like I said, we this is our first time doing shoes, so here we are. All right, this I'll make it so that this is kind of the same width as this one, and we will attempt to. Okay, that's a little. Just push it down right now. Instead of flipping it around and scraping it, we can just push down any kind of bump that we don't like. I'm gonna make this a little flatter. Okay, so let me take the clay strip brush and kind of raise that indentation we made a little bit. I say we, I don't know why I was, sorry. I hope you don't mind. We say we. We are going to do this, all right? You never know, you might want to follow along. So, collectively, could be drawing. I'm including you, okay? I'm including you in this. We are doing it. Now, I'm going to cut the corners in there with the draw sharp brush. Now let me take the shift key and smooth that. That's another way you can smooth down too. If you don't want to use the scrape tool, you can just smooth it. But smooth kind of deforms it a little bit, so you have to be careful with smooth. Smooth will melt your mesh if you do it too much. All right. It's getting there. Now let's define the cuts a little bit more. I was almost held down control there. I'm not going to do that. Keep going. It's looking a little pixelated, but that's okay. I think we might have to remesh it again soon here. Now we still got some work left here. It's still warping, still bending to our will. Let's try to finish this side before we run out. If we keep working over here in this one area, of course we're going to run out of polygons and have to keep remeshing it. But I want to See, we don't want it to get to 0, 0, 0, 1, because then we won't have much to work with left. We'll be kind of painting ourselves or sculpting ourselves into a corner. We still got to do the rest of the boot and all the other details and touching up the corners here. Looks a little rough there. So we don't want to spend all. Well, actually, it won't. We can keep remeshing it, but we don't want to keep remeshing it unless we have to. Another thing I got to work on, getting the point across in as few polygons as possible. I don't want to mill about in one area. Okay, I'm working. I think we got 3 more left over here, and then we have this whole other side on the other side of the boot here to work on. We will get there. We're gonna try to get there today too. I think we can do it. So I really want to get to the rest of the boot, finish it. I keep saying that instead of just, just don't worry about it. We all right. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, people. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be all right. All right. Try to cut the square in here. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, yeah, we did it again. I held down control. Problems will just undo what we just did. I want to define this portion right there. Cut it in, and then we can raise up the rest. Should have the room to do that. I don't see any deformities, so I think we're good. Just raise up everything around it, and then flatten it, and we got ourselves another grip, another groove. Scrape it. Okay. Scrape, scrape again. Raise the radius up a little bit. I'm gonna pull this out because it should be a little thick up here, but a little thin down here. So I'm gonna pull this in and pull these out. Pull this in out. Pull this in. I'm gonna raise the radius back or lower the radius, sorry, and then we're going to put that cut right there in the center. I'm just looking at it, looking at it from different angles here. I think we just need to scrape it flat. All right. So we're going to work on that. Scrape it flat some more. I want this cut to go all the way around and up, so it looks like an actual grip, an actual groove in the boot there. It's kind of one thing that we weren't really doing when we do it. It kind of lined up, so we kind of didn't have to, for the most part. This one was pretty good right here. I'm just going to define it a little bit more. And of course, this one, we're still on draw sharp. I think we are. So what we're going to do while we're here is I'm going to sharpen these corners some. It's not super rounded. That's what we're doing now. Sharpen the corners. Flatten that grip some more. And we're going to continue flattening that right there. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna click that. Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, oh. All right, I'm gonna take this grip here, bring this out, and then I am going to pull that down some. Okay. Yeah, I think we got it. We're working on it. Now we're going to do these last two on this side, and then we got to do the other side. I'm just looking at it as a whole now. It's a little more defined. You know, we can see difference. Obviously, this is very worn on this side. This side isn't so worn. It's not as sharp as it can be as an actual boot, but it's more defined. And that's what we're trying to do here. As long as we can define these shapes well enough, at least get it to the point where we can draw and like, okay, yeah, this is supposed to be a flat line, so we just draw a flat line. We have to draw a blank or bumpy or rounded like these are. We will fix them. We're not gonna leave it like this. We're gonna try to get it as close as possible. It does not take much to do. All right, let's not stall here and just keep going. Let's get ourselves into a nice groove. And let's see, cut or what is this? Draw sharp. We're gonna draw sharp this, and all right. So these are quite large, I would say, and in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust the shape of that a little bit. I grabbed it from the bottom there. I'm trying to see if that actually messed it up. It didn't. It doesn't look like it did. So we're gonna keep going. All right. So we can create the cut. We can create a cut here. All right, and we're gonna have to flatten this part because this part is flat. Cut ourselves a little groove around. Keep going. And now we're going to, I'm gonna pull out a little bit more. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna matter. It's fine. We just have to. We're just gonna have to flatten this. We will flatten it very soon here. But I will. What I will do though is this. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Okay. Now I'm questioning why I put the cut way back. Oh yeah, I know what I. Now we gotta put that back. I'm sorry. We gotta put that back. I just realized what I did. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, we didn't put this cut. We put the cut here, and then we got sidetracked by looking over here. And then when I came back to this, I thought this line was this line, but it wasn't. We haven't actually did this line yet. So I tried to take that line and move it up, and then I realized what I did wrong. That's basically what I did. Okay, that was my thinking in doing that. That kind of screwed up, but that's okay. We fixed it. We fixed it. I just wanted to show what I was doing and where my thought process was. All right, draw sharp. Now we're going to cut this down. All right, we got it. That was all we had to do. all that other stuff. I don't know what happened there. You know what? We're going to define all these squares a little bit more. Now I'm using the little opposite mode, the alt shift mode for draw sharp to define the squares a little bit more. All right, now I'm gonna look around here. Okay, so we can take scrape and scrape the end of the square. You see, it has flat. Well, the sides aren't flat, but it does have sides. That's what we want. We want that because it won't take much to do a corner to make a corner and make that into a flat surface in between the grooves there. That's how the boots are. They have in between there. You have a flat surface here, and then a flat surface on the top, and then another flat surface on the other side going down into the shoe. That's exactly what we want. That's why I keep going back and trying to create that surface there. It looks like I'm just staying in one spot and wasting time, but no, I'm trying to I'm continuously defining that shape so we get that. Okay. Now I have to do, see, I can just put it right there, right where it rounds out, and put a corner there, and slowly make it into a raised box like surface, like it is on the bottom. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least we have that general shape there. I would just have to make this end wider, and we will. That's a little, the radius is a little bit too big, so we're going to lower that and but then widen this. We're going to narrow the radius but widen the work area that we're trying to do. Okay, let me look at the side there because I kind of manipulated this end. Listen, it kind of seems like it's a little crooked still. So we're going to pull this out and then flatten it just to see if there is a surface. Let's save it. It's been long enough. I don't want to lose this progress here. That's going to really suck. I'm trying to do this over again for the next 45 minutes doing the same thing over again. Been up for 45, took 45 minutes on this. Well, actually on with these four, I believe. Yeah, we start off with three, but now we have 2, 3, 5, 7. And we've got an eighth on that side. It's too bad you can't, I mean, I know it's mirrored over here. It's too bad you can't mirror on this, like right here too. I don't know, or maybe you can, I don't know. I'm not gonna figure it out though. We're just gonna do what we're doing here. We're just gonna have to do on the other side what we do on this side, and we gotta do the stars. The square, we could probably define that a little bit more. There's a square on our reference. I put a square here. Uh, Definitely touch up the heel and then do what 4, 8, 9. I think that might be the ninth one, and then we got the bottom of the shoe or boot. Okay, so let's keep going. Scrape this a little bit more. Scrape these. Scrape this one. I see a little deformity there. I'm gonna scrape that. I'm gonna scrape this one. Let's turn it to the side, see what we got here. Okay. That's from defining the corner. Sorry. Well, that's why it's a little raised. We're gonna leave that. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I can scrape this. I don't know. Let's see it. Let's see the difference there. Okay, kind of push it in a little bit. Maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Scrape. I want to scrape just this part because this part looks a little higher than the outside. Just going down a little bit. I mean, they're not perfectly straight. I think we're gonna keep defining the shapes, and then maybe we can touch it up as we go along and try to make them as straight as possible. These boots are large, by the way. Pretty big. Pretty big boots. I'm looking. They might be a little bigger than usual. Maybe we can shrink the bottom in a little bit, but it's fine. I think, if we look at them from a distance, they almost look normal. I don't think that I'm not really too worried about the size, to be honest. They're a little big. Just say he has big feet, okay? Um, all right, let's move on. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this out just a little bit. All right. Radius. We're going to raise this up some. Okay. We have to make sure that the other side here is as accurate as possible to this side too. We're gonna have to do that. Not that that's a big deal. I think it'll be fine. Okay. I'm looking at the boot as a whole, at least the soles anyway. There's really nothing to see up here. We did all we could. This is as close as we've gotten to a regular boot. So, and I've still rotated around them. I'm sorry. We don't need to look up there right now. There's literally nothing for us to see up there. The only time I do this is when I'm looking at the grooves here. I don't need to worry about this right now. I'm only worried about the soles. So, see me rotate here. I'm actually not looking up here. I'm looking at this. This is what we need to focus on. What's up, Ace? Sorry, late. Getting ready for work after going early all week. Oh, that's no problem. 99. Welcome to the stream. I hope that it's smooth for you when you go to work. Hope you're having a great morning so far. We are just working on the bottom of the boots here and trying to get this done. I'm pleased with it so far. Just got to keep going here. The rest of the clothes are actually not going to be it's not going to take as long. I'm sleepy. I was up late thanks to AEW and woke up early. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think the very first match was the best one in my opinion. With Will Ospreay. They probably should have made that the event, but they like doing thanks 99. They like doing the whole just pure pandemonium for the last match. You didn't like the final match? That was insane. It was okay. It was okay. You know what diminishes it for me? Every pay-per-view that we've seen has ended that way. So it doesn't have as big as an impact to me. As with all the craziness and going through all the crowds and Matt Hardy, and it's like I've seen it. They did it with the football. They did it with the back, the back area with the concrete, with the guy fell in the concrete. They keep doing. Okay. Besides that, but I'm not talking about that. Obviously, okay. I'm actually surprised they actually used the flamethrower. Okay. And of course, Tony Khan being there and all that. But yes, yes. Besides the obvious stuff, I feel like they do these big multi-man finishes a lot. Those were all the same match. LOL. It's called Anarchy in the Arena. That makes sense. Okay. I mean, I know they kept doing it. It's like what was it? It's like a bigger version of a hardcore triple threat. Those boiler room type matches that they used to do in WWE. They don't do that. They don't do that anymore. Backstage brawls and whatnot. Um, I feel like they should not always end it that way, but the match itself was interesting. You didn't like the cage match? I didn't say the no. There's nothing wrong with the cage match. The cage match was yeah. I didn't see anything wrong with the cage match. I'm sorry. I had to think about it. Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, the cage match was pretty good. But I think the first one was the best one, the best match in my opinion. That's what I think. I'm just saying they had a really strong opening, and I felt like it was a little too strong because I can't really say that uh as far as pure wrestling is concerned that any of them topped the Will Osprey one, but they were all good in their own way. Yes, Double Nothing pay per view always ends with anarchy. It's the specific pay per view for it. Well, wait, what else? Oh yeah, they have all in, right, and all out. Those are two different pay per view ones, right? In just wrestling, it's hard for anyone to do. Yeah, I thought it was a really good match. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm speaking as someone who doesn't really watch it like that, but spending so much time away from it and then coming back, I can see it from a different perspective. I feel like I got scammed out of my replay though. I wanted to be able to show it. I know what I saw. Don't scam me, AEW. Don't you scam me. You yourself said she cheated and she didn't. She did not cheat. Okay, all in, all out, full gear. That's right. Revolution. I don't think I've seen a Revolution yet. Double or Nothing, Worlds, and didn't see that one yet. Forbidden Door. Did I see a Forbidden Door? Was that the one with all the orange, or am I thinking of something else? I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Someone posted it. The wrong person won, and they called it. Revolution is my favorite of theirs. Okay, I'll check that out. I wonder what Jim Cornette is going to say about this past AEW when I end the stream later on in the day. I'm going to take a look at that and see because I mean I know he doesn't. I know he he's very cynical, but his perspective on it is somewhat interesting to me because he's speaking from someone who he likes very specific things. He was live tweeting about how bad the whole show, of course he was, but I want to know why he says it's bad. Sometimes he makes good points, but I mean it doesn't. It's very nitpicky, I would say, for a lot of it. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But if he says something that I missed, and I'm like, huh, okay, I kind of understand. It's not gonna change my opinion of it. I thought the show overall was pretty good. You know what? You know what though? We said in 2020 that they were going to get better, right, at everything. But I think they still do the wrong angles. They still do the wrong angles. The announcers are kind of like um they feel I don't know. They still feel a little bit disjointed as far as the talking points and well, I guess you can't really help a botch, right? I mean, if you mess up, you mess up. Just roll with it, right? But I feel like the increase in quality is for 4 years is very very minimal, I would say. Do you feel that way? He said this was all shock value and spots, and nothing progressed. Any stories last night? I don't know any of the stories, so I mean, I know this guy hates this. This guy doesn't like this guy. Daddy ass. They don't like those guys. That's his name, Daddy ass. I don't know. That name is so hilarious to me. It's like, what? You should put pads. You should make his butt bigger. It's like fake Rikishi, but not really. The Rikishi should have been daddy ass because it has almost this whole thing. He slaps his butt and he like rubs it in people's faces. Yeah, they have not changed very much since 2020. Is what I'm saying. I feel like it's made progress. I mean, yes, it's made progress definitely, but if you take 4 years, you can take 4 years out of other promotions, I think, and see a bigger changes than what I've seen in AEW. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. I haven't seen every show, so take that with a grain of salt. But I don't know. I was just wondering what you thought about that because I feel like you've seen all of the shows, or at least most of them. I feel like it's made progress. They apparently only get paid once every 2 years, so they have to do season finale each rights deal to make updates. Okay, I understand. Yeah, yeah, they definitely have made progress. Now I think they all upgrade at the same pace, not counting WWE because they have infinite money. Yeah, yeah, you can't really compare it to them because they can they can change everything if they wanted to. They just don't. I do notice though they're doing a lot more like video gamey references and whatnot. WWE wasn't doing that before. You know, I don't know if that's because McMahon is out, but I do know that they are slowly absorbing the avenue that AEW was started out with. Right. I can't speak for the other promotions because I've never seen them besides GCW, but I do feel like that WWE is starting to be influenced by their competition now. WWE has been around for 100 years and have household names. It's impossible to compare. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's an unfair comparison, but it's going to be made because, like I said, WWE is starting to be influenced by their things too now. So in that case, I am comparing it to them because now they're doing the video game stuff. Honestly, they should have started that with, from the start. I know a lot of their fans are also gamers. I'm surprised I didn't see it. Well, actually, I'm not surprised because you know an old man, an old boomer was running it, so of course he's not gonna see things like that. And even if he did, he's still gonna do it his way. Because after all, they do have video games, and he has been in many of his video games as a voice actor. Welcome, Bejeweled. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're having a good morning. But when you compare AEW to GCW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, and AAA, I don't know. I've seen that one. I don't know if I've seen that one. I feel AEW is still progressing, and the others have been shrinking since the pandemic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like AEW, or sorry, WWE was indeed shrinking, but they got rid of the reason. They got rid of the reason why that's happening. So now I'm starting to see them do what everyone else is doing now. I think that could be a good thing. You know, when I first saw it again in 2020, when it was just AEW and WWE and AEW just come out and everyone was like trying to make a war out of them. Um, WWE, and this is just a comparison to the last time I watched it, it looked very stale. Like it was almost like it was very sterilized. But now, ever since when they started doing NXT, and it was NXT, right? Yeah, NXT when they debuted that, and since then it started to have its own thing again. But now they're doing this thing with the video games, level up, and the final boss of wrestling. I didn't see those events, but when I hear these terms, I'm thinking like they sound like they're doing what AEW's doing now. Don't get them wrong, Jules. AEW is stealing too. They took the screen and padded barricades. Yeah, they did. I saw the floor when CEO was hitting the floor. I was like, oh, they padded it. Oh, yeah, good. Cause y'all be they be well, dude almost, I don't know. You saw what the dude did when he was on top of the dude's legs, and he got the flying clothesline. He's lucky he landed on the top of his head. Well, I don't know if that's luck, but because that probably still hurt like crap. But he's lucky he didn't land on his neck when he did that, because that looked pretty bad. Yeah, that almost El Accidente. Yeah, it definitely looked like an El Accidente, but he landed in a way that his weight was not all the way on his head. So should probably get checked for a concussion or something. That's a pretty big fall, regardless. But the floor was padded. Just think if they had their original floor. That is funny. I'm just saying. I don't I don't want to see anybody get their spine broken in any way. That's a pretty terrible injury to have, especially for pro wrestlers. It sucks. It makes you cringe too when you see it. But yeah, it's a good thing they had that padded for. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a a freaking thing here. Also, I I think the Takashita was my favorite wrestling match without a gimmick. That was the John Moxley one. Man, he went bald fast. You say he shaved it because it looked like he's got the hair loss. I was like, it's only been a couple of years, but yeah, that's how it goes, man. Sometimes you have it. That's how I went for. That's kind of how it went. Like I was getting my hair cut regular, and then I went to the barber one day, and it was super full. And I was like, man, I drove all the way out here, and I don't want to wait, and I had to go to work. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to do it myself. So I bought a mirror, and I looked at it, and and then like I was in my bathroom, and I was like, let me see the back, because over the years, like people would say like things here and there that no one outright told me that I had like a bald spot back here, and I never even noticed it when I got a haircut. And I put the mirror behind me, and I saw this bald, and I was like, why am I getting my haircut with this bald spot? I was like, you know what? Let me just start shaving it. And I started shaving it ever since. I was in 2018. Shaved his head when he went to Japan for a year. Then it just never grew back. Wow. Yeah, man. It's just yeah, it just sneaks up on you. But I feel like I feel like shaved head fits you, Ace. Well, thank you, Bejewel. Thank you. I like it myself. I didn't really mind it. I had a dream once, a long time ago, when I had hair, that I was gonna go bald. I was looking in the mirror at my baldness. I had the whole cul-de-sac and everything. It was like super like advanced. But when I was looking in the mirror, I was smiling. I was smiling at myself, and I woke up. I was like, "Oh, well, that's not so bad." And then it happens, and of course, it wasn't so bad. I don't know. I don't know how it looks now because I keep it shaved, but I'm pretty certain that the bald spot is still there, and this is probably thinner now. I don't know. I don't know how it looks. I don't care to know either. It doesn't really matter to me. I wish I shaved my head the whole time and never had the long hair. My mom said once that I had a bald spot back then, and I looked, and I felt it, and I was like, I don't feel nothing. And then of course I was getting my hair cut. I think when I get it cut low, when I had it, I had like I was getting like a number one. I used to get it faded on the side, but I stopped doing that. I just get it all even, like a number one all even. And they would show I swear the last time I got my hair cut, they would show behind and the front. I never saw a bald spot. And the next time I went, it was there. I'm like, what? Like, when did this happen? I don't know. I still it just it was just one day it was just there. I don't it was weird. It's just very weird. I don't know. Maybe it was like a stress thing from work. My hair just fell out like the next 2 weeks somehow. I don't know what happened. You always had that tight fade. Yeah. I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Like I saw like in the front, like it was like receding a little bit. I was like, oh, it wasn't so bad. I was like, okay, cool. Uh, I'll just get it lined up a little further back. As long as I don't got like the Stephen A, I'm cool. But or LeBron. But yeah, then one day I went and I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was like, instead of driving all the way out here, let me try to cut it myself because I feel like I can do it. And then that's when I saw it. I was like, oh my god. I was like, why even bother? But yeah, I don't miss it. It's actually very like if I want to keep it just like all skin like it is now, I have to keep shaving it, but I can go a couple of days without feeling any bristles or anything like that. So I just keep it shaved. It's much easier, but I just have to shave more often. So depending on uh, how clean I want the shave, like I got to shave my head and beard daily. Yeah, it's not so bad. Like if I like when I come on stream tomorrow, I mean I won't have to shave it. It'll still look the same. There's a lot of shadow here, but if I have lighting. Um, I have this set up. I don't normally use these lights, but yeah, you can kind of see like where my hair is still there, but it's very shade. It's like very like I feel nothing but skin right now because I shaved it today. But it'll look the same if I don't shave it tomorrow. But then the next day I'll start feeling a little bit, and I could just do like a little once over. It's nice. I use a Mach 3 and a skull shaver right after that, and that gives me a nice smooth shave. Basically, you have to put alcohol in it afterwards. Well, I don't have to, but I do it anyway, just so I don't, it doesn't break out or get sore or anything like that. It'll burn for a second and then it'll be done. I was let's see, I shaved and I went to immediately after I went to the store. I think it was on Thursday, and it rained real hard in the morning. And that rain hit my head after I put the alcohol on, just reactivated it. Man, that stung so bad. I was like, oh my god. Luckily today around 7, I went fully smooth shave. By 3, I'm gonna have a 5 o'clock shadow. By 9, it'll be full stubble. Oh wow, yeah. It's weird like that. Sometimes it does. Sometimes that does happen. Like you feel like I like, dang, I just shaved, and I would like touch my head and I would feel the hair. I was like, feels like I haven't shaved in days. That's only if I don't do what I normally do, which is the Mach 3 and then the skull shave. Like if I just do the Mach 3, I'll feel the stubble will come back faster. I feel like okay. I'll do is I'm going to put the corner there. That's what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, I said I'd rather shave my face and head daily than deal with all the hair products and 20 minutes brushing every day with neck strain. Yeah, it's just shaving cream if you use that. Or if sometimes I do it in the shower and I'll just put shampoo on it or body wash and then just shave it with that. But that's not as a smooth shave as using the cream in the mirror. And of course, there's the accuracy issue. Like I can not use a mirror, but I feel like I do a much better job when I'm looking at it. So I'm learning so much, taking lots of notes for when I eventually shave my head. LOL. Yeah, it's not so bad. You know, once you start doing it, the very first time it's gonna take probably the longest, but you can do it in like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, depending. Nice and shaved. Once you shave it, like, because you know your scalp has always been covered for probably most of your life, so it's going to be very sensitive. So make sure that you put something on it when you do shave to alleviate that. You know, like I just said earlier, like just from rain hitting it, and I had used the alcohol beforehand. That will sting. That'll make your head sting a little bit, and then you can't don't touch it because you know you got your hand oil and all that. You don't want to touch it. I can touch mine now, but I couldn't touch it at all when I first did it. I was like, man, I don't want to touch nothing because I felt like it would break out, and it doesn't do that anymore. But it's still sensitive because it's just skin, basically it's just skin and bone up here. So, um, yeah, just something to keep it nice. I would still actually use I still use shampoo even though I'm bald. Just for my scalp. Just take care of my scalp. Jules could definitely pull off the shaved look. I had a half shaved head with uh a dressing during the pandemic, but it was stupid expensive to maintain. Yeah, shampoo helps and I use lotion. Yeah, lotion's good too. Yeah, yeah, just put do something. Don't leave it raw because rain will hurt. Um, touching it, someone else touching it, keeping your skin covered, like skin like covered like on a pillow. That'll help break it out too. And then depending on what you use, you have to keep that clean all the time. Like my skull shaver, I clean it after every use. Don't just shave it and then just put it down because eventually it'll make you break out. So you have to clean it after every use. And of course the razors. Okay, we got here. Scrape down. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's not so bad. I actually like doing it. Should have done it sooner. Even when I had hair, I could have started shaving it. what I no, you know, I'm like I was thinking of Riddick. I was like, how you know, I always thought I was like, how the heck? I was like, can somebody shave with a knife? And then I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna entertain that thought. Richard P. Richard P. Riddick. He's got to put the little grease on, and he has something. He always has something sharp that he kills somebody with. He shaves his head with. I gotta walk to work now. I'll rejoin the work is slow. All right, 99. Have a good work day. I'll be here doing these boots here. Of course. Anyways, keep doing the rip, and I'm gonna see that's kind of slanted down, so I'm gonna just pull that up. I'm gonna pull it up, and then I'm gonna scrape it flat and see if that will fix. Okay. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit more. a little bit. All right, now we flatten this. I'm gonna push it up just a little bit, and then flatten it with the scrape tool. Scrape it flat. I don't want to use flatten. Flatten is kind of weird. I just use scrape. Let's see what we got. All right, got a boot or something. We got that side done. Now we just need to get this side done, and then we can do the heel, and we'll be good. Yeah, I feel like I normally what I wanted to do is I wanted to show the whole process for one of the meshes. If I was working on this off stream, it would be done, but instead, I just start and do another mesh off stream, and then when I'm done with that one, you'll see wherever I'm at with the next one. If I don't complete that one before I complete this one, it's much faster that way. So I feel like if I show the entire process from start to finish now, at my current speed and doing it this way, we ain't gonna see no pages anytime soon. So I'm trying to get a good workflow going here for on stream and off stream, just until we can get caps lock, just in case, until we can get a nice flow going to where we can do everything and within a reasonable time. Well, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. I'm very excited to get to the pages. I've been editing the story. Um, I'm editing Act One. I think that's the only act that is kind of like, I don't know. It was a little thin. I felt like I feel like the pacing was too much, I would say. So I'm trying to like fill in some things here, and I rearrange some of the events because some things I'm starting to see like there are some areas of Act One that kind of don't make a lot of sense. I'm trying not to say too much about it, but basically there are some people that are looking for the main character, and based on the information that they had, they should have found the character by now. So the story kind of does not make sense in that regard. So I am my focus in editing right now is that part of the story. But the prologue is pretty much done. So if I can have 7 characters, I can probably do like half of the prologue. No, not half. About 30% of the prologue right there. If I can just get 7 characters going here. Hopefully, very soon we will have those characters. We can start doing pages. At least planning out how the panels are going to look. I have a pretty good idea already of how they're going to look, so that part shouldn't be too bad. And if you saw the digital art that I've done, that's pretty much how the comic is going to look, but with a better background. Um, I am working on the finishing touches on that too, so I can post that up somewhere. You'll probably see that picture um, posted on Instagram, which shows on the bottom of the screen. I'll have a little art gallery there too, and then I'm gonna take some art that I have drawn and put it in my banner as well, like a pop art type deal, panels. I ain't gonna have my banner and then like the very first picture and only that sitting there. I'm gonna wait till I get a little bit further in with completed pieces, and then I'll arrange them in a panel formation later. But right now it's just gonna be a blue panel with my mug on it. All right. But that's the plan. It wasn't the banner on my page was supposed to be in of itself an art piece, but we're not there yet. Got a lot of rain lately. One thing, when I went to sleep, it was raining. I don't know if it will rain today. Yeah, I think. Well, they said Monday, and technically it did rain on Monday. I'm pretty sure it rained overnight, but I don't know if it's going to rain again. Maybe it will. I don't mind rain too much, though. Okay, so we're going to go on this side. We're just going to get on in there. All right. Let me get a small radius here and beef this up some. We're going to define that. All right. Okay, so we're going. The only thing that's a little bit iffy is that we have these separated squares here, and then they get skinnier as we go up. I probably won't fix them, to be honest, because if you look, here's my reference here. See how they're scrunched together right here? I think we can forgive that here because I was kind of following that a little bit. It's not completely the same. Mine's are a little more exclamation pointy, like I said earlier, and these are uh, not. I guess they're more like wedges, like full wedges. But we kind of went our own way with the bottom of the boot here. So we're gonna keep going. All right, now it should be nice and round, as you can see right there. The amount of clay that we added, or polygons, not really clay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to define those ridges some more. It's a little crooked, but we can fix that. It's not a big deal. We could take the whole thing and just move it straight if we want. Right now we're just trying to get the design of the bottom of the boot to a believable state. And this is probably the most detailed of the clothing. Obviously, that's why I started with this. It'll be much quicker doing the pants and the shirt, and then from there we just have to add pockets. We're going to add pockets and collars and whatnot, which I've not done before, but that'll be much easier than doing a whole detailed boot. All right, so we're going to cut that. Uh, a little itch there for some reason. Not really an itch, but something. You feel like a little tingling sensation. You have to rub. It's not quite an itch, but you feel something going on there. Like I don't know, maybe like a hair is growing or something. I don't know. It's around my eye. I just don't like that. You ever get that? Get like a hair lash falling in your eye. I woke up this morning. I was rubbing my eye when I woke up. I was involuntarily rubbing my eye with my palm when I was waking up. I wasn't doing it myself. I just woke up like this. I woke up. I was like, oh, my hand is rubbing my own face by itself. And then I opened my eye and I felt something fall in it immediately. And then when I blinked, it disappeared. So hopefully it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it bounced off or something. I hope that there's nothing in my eye, but that's how I woke up this morning. It's very strange. It's very strange that my body decided to use the palm of my hand to rub instead of like a finger or something. I guess I don't know. Subconsciously, your body knows not to poke yourself in the eye. I actually don't know. I don't know. I just felt that was weird that happened, and it happened in a way that I was doing it in a way that wasn't gouging my eyes out. So uh, put something here. Try to redefine that corner. It's a little soft there. I'm gonna do this one too while we're at it. All right, now we're going to come down some. I'm just defining the corners of these raised shapes here. Okay. Now we're going to scrape it down to flatness. It should be flat. They're only going to get flatter as they get worn, I think. Oh, I think if you're wearing these types of boots long enough to where the grips are being flat, you should probably get new boots. Although it's easy to do, like in the heel, like you drag your feet, this will be completely gone. Do that. I've seen that happen. All right, so let me just scrape this and this. You know, I'm just gonna do that a little bit too. Okay, let's see. That. Alrighty then. That doesn't look too bad. It's still a little clayey. I don't know if that's definitely not a word, but it's not a crisp boot, but we're getting there. We're gonna try to get it as close to crisp as possible. Some corners need to be redone, edges. We're getting there. Now this looks a little skinnier than it should be. So we got a little problem there, but not a big deal. I'm pretty sure we could fix that. What we got to do is just raise the whole thing like so, just like we did right there. Matter of fact, let's just raise everything. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's just make that one shape then while we're at it. Let's see. Yeah, and we just have to beef this one up, that's all. Matter of fact, yeah, let's raise that whole area all the way back up. And we can try to divide it into, let me see, you got two in the front, right? So we need to make these two, and then we have our third one here. So maybe we can just redefine that whole area. We should be able to get it done. Just gonna raise it. Okay. Now we're gonna try our best to divide this into let's see, two shapes here. Our very best. You know, using a stylus would be good here. Where's my gambit glove? Huh? It's in there. I feel it. There we go. Use the stylus for this. My lines are getting a little curvy with the mouse. Okay. All right. It's a little better. Now what we're gonna have to do, okay, we still have the little grip there somewhat, so we can redefine that. And boom. Now we're gonna get our little squares back in there. All right, that's a pretty large gap there. So, but we can fix that. We'll just move it to the side like this, and then we'll move this closer as well. So, oh, wait. Uh-oh. Little sneeze coming. Excuse me. All right. Oh, I thought there was another one coming. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so we got two there, right? Let's see, two there, and then this one. This one's the deformed one, so we have to do what we did. Well, we have to redefine these two now. We're probably going to end up doing that. Well, actually, no, these ones are too evenly spaced out, so maybe we can take and we're just trying to mirror this side without the help of symmetry because we can't use symmetry here. Symmetry is only affecting this whole other shoe here. So we're going to attempt to mirror the same boot as best as we can on the other side of the same boot. Oh yeah, let me save it. Make sure. No change whatsoever, of course. And we're paying attention to the grooves, more so the grooves than anything. We have enough polygons to where it's not going to doing something down here is not going to affect the top. So I still don't know why that happens. Maybe one day we'll be enlightened on why that happens. But okay, I just wanted to see. I did that because I wanted to see if we were still affecting the mesh. We may have to remesh again for the other side. These are a little too close. You know what? Let's just remesh now. There we go. Remesh, please. All right. Still not as many polygons as the head, actually. But we're getting there. Which I did not expect to do for the boot for a boot, but I guess it's counting both feet instead of just the one, right? Okay. Mhm. Okay. I'm thinking about. All right, you know what? Let me try to create the space now that we need because it looks like these are going to be too skinny if I carry on like this. So let me move this down. Let me just start moving these keys down a little bit. I'm thinking of them like piano keys. So I'm calling them key. Move these segments down right now and try to create some space so that way we can make these two thicker. Because I can see that these aren't perfectly lined up. So we're going to line them up the way they are on the other side, and that should give us the room that we need. Okay, we're doing a little better. Now we can put just this one down, and then we can beef up that one. We'll probably still use a little bit more space here. Maybe that will work. We're gonna push that down some more. I think we can go a little bit more. Like these aren't fully defined, so trying to use them as a measuring tool is probably not a great idea, but we will define them. At least they'll be in the right spot to define them. All right. Now we can push down some more. Right. Boom, 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 boom. That's close enough, I think. Now we can go back to defining the segments a little bit more. And we should have the proper amount. This one's still kind of skinny. Almost pointed with my other hand. You can see exactly what I'm pointing. This one's still a little bit skinny, but we can do something here. Like I said, we want to try to get it as accurate as possible. Even though it's kind of like if you pull back here and then you look, it's not that noticeable, but that's only because it's not very sharp all around. Like I said, it doesn't have to be picture perfect, but accurate enough to use as the final product is what we're going for. All right. We're going to keep going. Now what I am doing is I'm trying to block out this segment right here. Oh, now this one is kind of skinny, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going. You know what? Let's axe that. We don't need that. We don't need this either. Oops. A little too strong there. Okay. Have to make sure that these aren't that crooked. You can always adjust them to where they're at least similar size, right? I'm going to extend this just a little bit more. All right. Let's get the square in there. Square it. Now we're going to define the corners of the square a little bit more. It looks very pixelated. It's not defined at all. No problem. We're gonna keep going. Not a problem at all. All right. Let's define these squares. I guess that'll be a rectangle, right? Okay. I'm surveying the area. The entire area. We're gonna define this side a little bit more. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm taking a look. Oh, okay. I see what I did there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but I think we have an extra segment here. So we're going to have to get rid of this notch. I just caught that. Boom, it's done. I'm checking to see the spacing in between the notches here. on the front of the boot. Okay, we're gonna smooth it out. Let's scrape it with the scrape tool. I like that tool, kind of seems to accomplish what I want to do more than smoothing it out and flattening it. So I've been using that tool a lot. All right, so now we have a really thick one and a really thin one. So we're going to scrunch that together. We're gonna have to redefine this one too. Have to be careful with the grab tool. Okay, I think we got it. Maybe it's not really. It's not super accurate, but we're going. We just need something to that we can work on as we go and make it that way. Draw sharp. Let's sharpen the corners a little bit more. This one's still thicker than the thicker wedge than the other wedges here. Move this way a little bit. Let's see. Looking at the ridges. I'm looking at the boot. The ridges on the soles is what I'm looking at. Yeah, I can't wait to get done with the soles. This is very tedious things. It's you feel like you're kind of locked in. You're locked into one area. You just gotta stay there until you get out. You gotta stay. I gotta stay in soul jail until it's time to get out. Still got a little bit more to go. All right. Just gotta stay focused. Don't rush it. We should be fine. All right, we're bringing it in line with the other side. I think it's not as wide as it was. I think it's just the grooves up top that are a little bit off, like this one here. We can fix that. Push this in, and pull that corner out. Push this in. Let's take the whole thing. Try to round that shape out with the rest of the boot. Take that groove and try to straighten it. Looks a little better. Looks a little bit better. Just a little. All right. So we have two, 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 two. They're in similar spots right now. They're not in the same. It's not perfectly mirrored, I think, but we got them in the same ballpark at least. So we can start working on this one, right? And I'm gonna try to narrow that gap some. And you know what? Let's increase the width of that on this side as well. We may have to redefine that. That little ridge there. But I think we have enough to at least like flatten that surface. See. Okay. I'm just trying to widen this part. It seems like it's not getting wide at all, but maybe it is, and just that this little indentation is making it look like it's not. I don't know, but we're going to fix it. I'm trying to do it in a way to where I don't have to change the positioning of these three. They're in the right spot, so there's no reason to change them. The only thing I need to fix is this line, so I guess maybe I should just fill it in and then just redo it without having to change it. All right, the only way to actually do it is to actually put the line there. You know what? Let me get something a little thinner as far as the draw sharp brush is concerned. I don't like doing that with the, it's a little more better with the mouse. See, you got more control. But with the stylus, it kind of like jumps a little bit. Only when I'm trying to do the radius. And I know I could just press F, do it that way. See, like this. But no, we're not going to do it that way. Because I don't like doing it that way. I like doing it this way. All right. All right. So let's do. Let's. We don't have to really define this, but we're just trying to keep that shape going. Put the groove there. That groove's a little worn. We're gonna put that groove back there, and we're gonna groove that. I'm gonna take this side and just pull it over. Also, it's a little high, but yeah, it's a little high. So we're gonna fill in the top there, and we're gonna scrape it. Scrape that top. That one's still a little weird, but we'll come back to that. Scrape in the top. All right. Pull this over. Like so. Okay. All right. So now we're going to keep going with this one. Let me pull back. I gotta take a look. You know, I was just looking at it. I'm gonna keep looking at it from different angles. All right. I know one thing we can do is actually, we're not gonna do anything regarding that piece that we just worked on. We're gonna leave that for now. I think it's fine. What I want to do is I want to work on this and get this one going. Is it wide enough to match the other side, I wonder? It's in the same ballpark. Like it's super rounded here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this out and then put in the corner right there. And also, it might be stubbier if I add the segment there, but we'll see. Man, I said, we're at the end of May here. We're heading into June. I'm going to try to get some gaming streams in June. It won't be as much as art, but maybe on the days that we don't do art, we could probably do gaming in the evening, I think. Because I draw pretty much every morning anyway, regardless if I stream or not. And I want to keep to that because our art projects are the focus here. But I do want to do some. I do want to return to variety gaming as well. Those will probably be in the evening though when I start doing those. So we'll see. where we are at with that. As far as what, um, well, we'll see. We might jump into some RPGs. Not sure yet. I might just play something like short, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Still some things that I need to put together for the stream, but uh, when they are done, we'll definitely start doing that. And I got to see how my system will work with that. I mean, it should be too bad because I use a dual streaming setup, so but we never streamed a game on this dual streaming setup, so it'd be nice to know how that all that goes. It shouldn't be too much though. Uh, okay. Now I said to push these in first and then create the corners, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's about the same width. This one is skinnier though, so let me put this one over. Okay. Okay. You can see this side does not match the other side. Oh, you know what? Looking at this side is allowing me to see that this is actually crooked. Well, we're not going to keep tweaking that area. Let's finish this area first and then tweak it. All right. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Define these squares a little bit, just these two. All right. Draw sharp. We're going to do some corners here. And we're going to do this corner. Try to solidify the shape here of a wedge. It's smaller than this side, but we can fix that. It's like these two are just a little bit smaller than these two. So these two are about the same. And we got these two and these two. Yeah. We'll definitely have to adjust those shapes one way or the other. We could make these smaller or make these bigger. Thinking about making these smaller, that might be a little bit easier than making these bigger. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this. Them boots. Oh, you know what? Let's push this back some. This one's sticking out. Let's push this back, try to align it. Most, even though they're not all the way the same size, at least we can make them somewhat even. We'll have to push these back some too, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Just going to focus on these next three, and then we can start tweaking things overall. We still have to do the crosses. I'm not really worried about the crosses though. They are all the arms of the crosses are pointed, so that's going to be interesting. Maybe we won't point them. Maybe we'll square them. As long as the pattern is there, okay, it doesn't have to be accurate to an actual boot, you know, as long as we have a grip there that can be believable. This is approaching believable. We can always adjust it when we use it as a reference, a drawing reference. So getting it within a believable accuracy is our goal here. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. radius. So maybe we can pull this out and make it wide like that. Make it bigger that way. We didn't think of that before. We just adjust the shape. Let me look at the shape of the boot here. This is supposed to curve out. So we can grab the front here and just pull it. We'll wait until we have the full design going, and then we can adjust it. I really want to focus on getting this pattern out of the way without rushing, preferably. Uh-oh, that's the wrong brush. Okay. This side should be a little bit more flat as well. Looking, seeing like this is a more subtle curve. These are subtle curves too, but when it gets to about right here, it curves further over. I'm gonna stop looking at that now because I keep stopping the keep stopping the creation of these patterns here. I'm just thinking out loud here, okay? Don't mind me. Thinking out loud. This is the process. I look at things, I keep looking at things. The end. That's basically it. I look at things and then I keep looking at them. Then I move on and I go back and I look at them again. I don't know how it is for other people. So we're gonna get the keys going here. We can probably start, since we're moving things, we can probably push the square back now, like we're doing right here, and align it like so. Hey Liam, good morning. Hope you're having a great morning. Welcome to the stream. Trying to get this the bottom of this boot done here. Hey, speaking of boss, I saw a pretty good 3D art of Solid Snake. It was Christopher Walken as Solid Snake, like young Christopher Walken, and I don't know. I really did dig the design of that. I think his face would match like more with liquids with the hair, but I thought it was a pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Liam. It's another doing another week here. Another. It's been raining over here, and making progress on this stream, on this mesh here. I mean, and streaming it. Business as usual for me. Things all right in my life. Uh, I hope everyone is doing all right. Okay, cut this. Let me cut these a little bit more. Or not cut, but carve the corner in. We're actually not cutting, doing the opposite of cut. All right, now we can cut this into a line. It's a little thick though, so we're going to redo that. We're going to take the radius, take it down to that's about half. Actually, 18 was closer to half, but that's okay. Then we're going to put the square in, like so. Take this. Ooh, what we got here? We made it to the other side. Now we just gotta get down here. That's about 8 more ridges. Doing segmented work is so tedious, man. With these segments, I feel like I'm drawing that gold chain again, but this is more. Actually, that was more, but this is more. This feels like more work because it's in the 3D space as opposed to 2D. But I think the gold chain was still more than the gold chains, I should say, on my other picture were more tedious than this overall. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they aren't. Can't really tell anymore. And we create ourselves a corner right there, and we're gonna put a corner right there. I think we're running out of polygons again, so we're gonna have to remesh soon, which is fine. It's a little crooked though. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna scrape this part down at least. Uh-oh, we don't want to scrape too more. We don't want to scrape too far there. Don't want to do that. Uh-oh. What we doing here? What we doing? What we doing? Oh, okay, it's not that bad. Tell you what. Actually, that didn't help. Let's smooth it. Let's try the smoothing brush. The brush that we don't really use like that because we like scraping. Still a very bumpy landscape there. This should be completely flat, but when we raise the stars, we can worry about that. Let me do that part of the boot. I'm gonna edge this, sharpen those edges a little bit. Let's, okay, that's like more than double. That's also more than double. All right, we'll stick with that. I'm gonna beef up the soles on this part here on the side. You can beef them up and then scrape them down. This is gonna be a little weird because we're, I don't know, I don't know how to hide this without hiding the leg. I think what I did was I took and I feel like I don't know. When I hide this, it hides in both legs. When I try to hide one leg, it hides both, and I'm not sure why that happens. I think I have a mirror modifier on somewhere, and I didn't. I kind of messed up there, but that's okay. We can work like this. Since this will be used as references, a lot of any mistake that we make, even though we're going to try to make this as accurate as possible, we can just correct. We're drawing it. Okay, my webcomic will not be in 3D. I'm only using this for reference characters, just so the art is nice and consistent. If I draw without reference, every time I draw something, it's gonna look better. I'm gonna try to make it look better and better subconsciously, and I don't want the art to shift so much in a short amount of time. It'll probably shift to a point where it plateaus, I think, but I just want to keep the art fairly as consistent as possible. And it's gonna evolve, regardless. That's inevitable. We're not trying to stop that, but we do want to make it so that it's as consistent as it can possibly be. Now, I want to take this radius. I'm gonna pull this down. Notice this is a little bit higher than that side. This should be touching this, and this should be touching the ground. So if I looking at a reference here of a boot. Okay, so yeah, even though this is thicker than this point, they're both touching the ground. I'm looking at this. I'm wondering why. Oh, okay. this should be brought out all the way. Actually, no, it's not. It's not completely even. I actually did it right. I, I actually did it right without even knowing it. Okay. See how it has that little L bump? This is actually in the boot, and I didn't even notice that, but it's there. So we're good in that regard. But anyway, not this part. This is the part. This part and this part should be touching the ground. So we should bring this down some. Bring these teeth down some. So we kind of altered the shape a lot. Bring these teeth down, and these come up off the ground. Actually, we want to. We have to keep going back to the basic shape every now and then because manipulating it enough will change it. Okay. This part should be up off the ground. Oops. Not that far off the ground, but at least far enough. These teeth are on, and these will come off. I have actually less teeth than a real boot. That's okay. I can accept semi-realism. It doesn't have to be hyper-realistic like this. I just want to see all the information that I have available, and then I can change it to where I see fit. Okay, let's save it. All right. I think we can move on to the heel now. As far as I'm concerned, I think we got some definition there. Let's move this back down to 18 or somewhere around there. Yeah, 14 is fine. I'm gonna cut the lines in here. There are many different designs that are on the bottoms of boots. So the design itself isn't as important just as making it clear and concise. We have something there that looks like a boot. We got it. Right. I'm gonna do the stars after I do this brick part. There's only one star down here, and there's a square here. I'm gonna do the squares with the stars. And this needs to be, you see, this is super, super, super duper worn. Okay. We're going to fix that as well. Bump, bump, bump. That's not what we wanted. I don't know why it doesn't just, it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, I ain't going to do the square right now. I'll do the square when I do the stars. Squares, we got stars, we got rectangles. What's going on here? So many shapes on the bottom of a boot that you don't really notice. I mean, you see them, but when you're actually recreating them, you break everything down to its most basic forms. That's what you got. You got stars, well, more like crosses, rectangles, squares, half circles, or half ovals, I guess. We got it all down here. So I'm just adjusting the heel here to make sure it's nice and straight. We'll probably have to do that again once we're done with this because we're going to be manipulating this part of the boot. Let's get to it. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is maybe I should bounce from this to this side to this side instead of going all the way around just to make sure that they both match maybe. You could do it that way. I don't think it really matters. If one side turns out to be not a complete mirror of the other, we can just adjust it. So we'll do that. We'll just do it the way we've been doing. All right, so hang on. I need to look and see how the heel looks on the bottom of a boot, and then not completely follow it like we've been doing. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's remesh this now. Probably doing this a little. I feel like it might be a little more premature, but we got it. I just need enough to where we got this going. All right. We're not gonna do it exactly. It'd be a lot of detail to try to do this one for one because the way the shapes go in this part on a real boot, it's like a weird. I don't know, and it could vary from boot to boot. But the boots I'm looking at have these weird shapes, so I just opted for a simpler design of just doing like exclamation point. We're gonna keep to that design. I just wanted to take a look and see how it was on this boot. We don't even have to put exclamation points here. We could just do it unlike this all the way around, just one square, and I might just do it that way. Why not? Oh, excuse me. The pattern of the boot is not super important to this character, okay? I'm still struggling to think of a time where I would actually have to draw the bottom of this boot. I can only think of one, and I don't even know if he's wearing boots in the scene. So this may be moot, but it's good practice. If I ever need to sculpt a boot on a 3D mesh, that is the final project. I know how to do it. That's a good thing. I'm looking at it from a distance. I'm looking at the grooves here. And that has nothing to do with the heel, of course, but just rotating around. Okay. I take this, edge that, put an edge here, and we're going to put an edge here. We have an edge here, but it's kind of round. All the change because of all the changes we made, but now we just unrounded it. Go around here. I'm gonna put the groove back in where it belongs there, and make sure that we edge this round here, this round shape, this round corner, but make it edgy. Okay, beat that up some. All right, so now we're going to flatten this rectangular surface out. Looking around, still a little round, or scrape it. Flatten it with the scrape brush, of course. That's what I'm trying to say. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the corner I'm going to put a corner here to make sure that corner is nice. Sorry, I was distracted. Anyways, right there. Okay, I feel like it's not raised enough right there. Of course, it's slanted, but we'll fix that. Just trying to get the shape going. Let's raise it some more. I'm going to take the square and we're going to raise it like so. Okay. Raising it will make it a little bit round, but what we want to do is we want to make it almost like a dome and then shave some of that off. That should get us in the ballpark of what we want. Okay. Now I think we can flatten that now because it's definitely raised. It's definitely raised now. Okay, I'm just looking. All right, we're gonna push it down now. I feel like we can just push it down. Man, it's almost back to where we started, to be honest, but that's okay. Maybe we can pull it out instead. Let's try that. I just instinctively grabbed the mouse, so I don't know. That's why I'm not currently using the stylus. Okay. Let's take a look at it from this side. We want to keep this even with this side. Eh, I feel like it could be deeper, but maybe I should just make the groove deeper then. It's really like that. Well, I think I've expressed interest in making a game. Look how long I've, look how, well, streaming it, of course. Normally I'd be done with this by now if I wasn't streaming it. And there's the fact that I'm still trying to, I'm basically doing a new workflow. So I didn't, because Blender was not my main program. But I'm thinking of like if I ever did a video game with this, I'm just thinking about all the characters that I would have to sculpt to put in a game. And how do you do? I wonder how they do random NPCs. Do they do like every possible NPC, or they just do like I wonder how they randomize like that. At least the randomized ones, I guess. I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto 5, like how like do they sculpt every? I don't think those are random actually. They weren't traditionally random, but man, just doing that as like a one person developer, that's a lot of work. I see why there's so many indie devs that do 2D because it's it's uh it's probably easier, on in the art department anyway. I don't know about the programming side, but I think we'll get it down to where my goal is to be as proficient as this as I am with just digital art, however proficient that is. But I feel like I'm there. It's just I don't have the speed, but um, it's my goal. The goal is to be able to do it quickly and still be accurate. We'll see how that goes though. One day I'll take a crack at making a game, but I think I'm gonna do 3D instead of 2D. I know a lot of people say start small, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna follow that advice. And a lot of people don't, and they suffer for it. I'm probably gonna suffer too, but see how it goes. All right, so we're gonna do. I said I was gonna go around, but Now I'm thinking maybe I should do it this way. All right, let me cut over here, cut over there. Now let's raise it with the clay strips. Almost said clay stripes. I saw out of the corner of my eye there was a strip, and I thought for some reason the S was an E. You know, I wasn't directly looking at it; I just saw it in my peripheral. So I was starting to say clay stripe, but then I looked again. I was like, no, it's not clay stripes, clay strips. Again, I'm just telling you why I did what I did. That's where my head was at. Okay, you're gonna know everything. Okay, you're gonna know it all. You're gonna know everything that's going through my head. Not everything, but most of the stuff. You're not gonna know everything. You're gonna know some. You're gonna know a lot of things, especially when it comes to what I'm doing here. I'm gonna try to explain the best to explain my thoughts and actions, and doing what I'm doing here. I think that's all right. Yeah, maybe we'll just keep these as squares all the way around, except for right here. Probably gonna have to make them smaller here. And they are like that. They are closer together on actual boots, so we can get away with doing that, just like they were right here, and a little more segmented here. I don't think, like I said, accuracy as far as the pattern is not my concern, just as long as the shape is clear and sharp enough to use as a reference. That's all I care about. The art itself was probably going to be leaning towards like a stylistic semi-realism, I guess if you can call it that. Like how I did the woman with the yellow eyes, like that. I guess that's the closest way I could describe that type of style. I don't know, but that's the style I want to go with. Okay, for my art. So I'm going to do that. I'm still undecided as to where I'm gonna do the covers that way, because I want the covers to, when you look at a cover and you look at the page, it's always different. And that's most of the time it's because they use different artists for covers and the inner pages. And I don't want to do a simplistic version of my art just to get it out faster. I'm gonna try to do everything that I'm doing now, but like extra fast without losing any quality. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do like a speed paint type deal. I don't know how that's gonna go. I was able to achieve this once upon a time, back in the day when I had a simpler workflow, but we're going to try it again with everything that all the changes that I've made over the years. I want to try to see if I can do at least have the option to do a daily upload. It probably won't be a daily upload, but if I can get like twice a week, I don't know how long it's going to take for me to finish posting volume one, but at least it'll give me time to do volume two. If I'm quick enough, I could draw something and then start, and then once I'm done with uh like the day's project or whatever, I can start writing for volume two because I know how that story's gonna go already. I just gotta write it, gotta put the dialogue in. But as far as the sequence of events, I know how it's gonna go. The same kind of with volume three. Volume three is still like in the idea stage, but volume two is far more detailed than volume three. Like I can actually start writing that whenever I get time to. Right now, I'm all about volume one. Volume one is written. The entire volume is written, and I'm just editing it. And I'll be done with that before I know it. All right, so we got two squares here. Oh, you know what I gotta do? corner this right here. Not sketch it because it's not a drawing. We don't want to sketch anything here. And deepen this crevice. Gotta deepen it. And now that we've deepened that crevice, we can edge this one. We can edge this square. Make it nice and edgy. Like so. Draw sharp this side too. Yeah, it's giving us the edge that we need. It's all about edge. All right. You're gonna cut yourself on all that edge. All right, now I think this is a little bit longer than this side. What I think I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna take the grab brush and I'm just gonna pull this side out some, and then we'll just, and if we have to readjust the edge, we will. Pull this corner out some, and to pull this in some, I guess. Guess that'll do. All right, so then we have these two big blocks, and then we could probably take these two, combine these into one. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that'll give us a full bottom of a shoe for the most part, as far as the ridges are concerned. We still got to do the stars and the square and adjust the general shape, but I think we're on track to being done with the bottom because well, it's looking like we're gonna finish the rest of the boot maybe tomorrow. I think we could probably get the rest of the boot done tomorrow. Sans the, I don't know how we're gonna do the strings yet still, but I'm thinking maybe just carving them in instead of making them their own mesh. Just carving them in, and then I don't know about where the bow is gonna be. Maybe we can make that a separate mesh, but uh, yeah, that's where we're at so far. So far, we're making pretty decent progress, I would say. I gotta adjust my chair. I'm a little below on the viewing square here. This webcam, but we're back up now. See, we're back up. I feel like it's gonna rain today. I didn't check the forecast, but it's looking a little cloudy. Anyways, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. I did say that we are going to combine these two wedges together. We have 6 here, 2, 4, and 6. They're small. We're gonna combine them into one. All right. That'll make it easier and more even with these. So we're going to do that. We're going to combine these together. Like so. And then we'll just redefine. This might be a little small, but it ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter, really. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to have 5, 6, and then 7. So we'll just do, we'll do the, pull it all the way out here and then shrink it, I guess. We should probably just use the mouse. It's much more accurate for that. Although, like I said, I could just press F, but it's whatever. It's not super important. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to have to get rid of this ridge here on the edge here. Make sure I don't forget that. And right here should be where the next one goes. We're gonna come out a little bit. That ridge actually lines up. It's just this edge this ridge we're gonna have to get rid of, and this one. So all That was the wrong brush. Oopsie daisy. What are we doing? Okay, clear clay strip. All right, we're gonna clay strip it then, like so. And we'll take this straw sharp brush and we're gonna edge, re-edge the boot there and here. Okay. Big bada boom. Now we're gonna cover this one. And we're gonna do this edge next, as well as this one and this one. There. We have something to work with here. Just gonna smooth those out like so. All right, here we go. We got ourselves a little thing here. We have something going. Now let's work on the inner edge. Cut these. Cut these. Okay. Cut these. Yeah, I want to try to finish these segments today. We're almost done. We're almost done with these segments. At least just getting them together, and we can adjust and whatever afterwards. All right. So what I want to do now that I'm looking at this, is I want to take and push these back some, just a little bit. I think I would push these up, and now I'm pushing them back. I think that's what happened. That's okay though. So they look a little more even. It looks like more of a turtle shell-ish, right? All right. Now I want to, you know what? Here. Why can't I do that with the stylus, huh? Now, we're going to beef them up, and then we're going to flatten them some more. Okay. Looking around. Just trying to look at them from the flat plane. Looks like we're going to have to take the entire heel and bring it up above the line. That line that we set last week, which is right here. Starting to dip below that a little bit. That's okay. So we can fix it. And that's just because we just beefed it up, so be fine. Everything is gonna be all right. Now we don't have an edge here though, so we're gonna edge that. I thought I put an edge there, but I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't do that. So now we're gonna do it. Oh, look at that. That's way higher than the other side. So let me just, you can just probably just push that down, to be honest. Preferably without making indentations like that. So that's why we don't do that. That's why we scrape it. I could have just control V'd it, but I decided not to, because that pretty much fixed it, kind of. Now it just has a little bumps there, but we're gonna shave it now. We're gonna shave it like shaved ice. Fix that little, still a little bit of groove left there. We're gonna ungroove it, and then we're gonna take the scrape brush here and scrape down. All the segments. Make it nice and flat. Should probably work with a bigger brush, right? So we can cover more area, since these are a little bit thicker than the ones that we've done in the front of the boot. You could probably get away with that. Check this because it looks a little bit more rounded. All right, it is more rounded. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna push this down some. I don't know what that is, but we're pushing it down. Looking at, I want to see the back of a boot real quick. Okay, yeah, the grooves are like super high. But we're working on the design first, and then we'll bring everything else in line. Um, all right. What we want to do now is that we're going to take this, push it up some. Okay, we're going to push this up just above that line, the grid line on the orthographic view here. You can see a little bit more. It looks a little weird, but seeing it this way might be helpful. Okay, we're going to go back to orthographic view and take a look. This is supposed to be higher, so that's fine. I know this side is way higher than the other side. Let's push it down. Okay, it's a little better. Now I can tell that this should be lower just by looking at it from that angle. It won't be perfect because for some reason I can't just show one leg. And instead of bothering with that, I'm just gonna just go on. And that might be something that we'll have to correct on the page itself. I can see that these are way higher than they should be, but I just can't determine where I should stop. So I'm going to assume, yep, that's the other side. Okay, we can put that. As long as it's right there, that's going to be our pretend floor. We got it. Looks fine to me. All right, so we got to bring these heels down some. We're going to do that right now. Take this. All right, this should be down. I can see that these are down, and we're going to assume the other side is good. Okay. Like I said, this has to touch the ground just like the heels do. All right. You can look at it from the side. Looks like it's fine, I guess. Yeah. This has to be raised just a little bit more. Here we go. There we go. All right. That's not so bad. Now it's supposed to look like these are touching the ground. We're only looking at it like this because we're at an angle here that is impossible to view without like a glass floor. But if you look at it normally, it should give the appearance that his feet are touching the ground, even though technically this part is off the ground. So that's just one of those weird things that we got that's like close enough, okay? All right, now we're back to the center, or back to the sole here. 29, 29. No, we're gonna go a little lower than that, and we're gonna, yeah, that's fine. And then we're gonna take off the grab tool. We're gonna grab anything here right now. I think we're good. Maybe that's not good, but we can fix that right now. And we just created a corner right there that wasn't there before. Looked like it was, but it wasn't. Same thing with here. We put a corner here. The adjusting kind of dulled it, so we're going to sharpen it. Sharpen the edges. All right. Let's go around. Let's go around a little bit. Get these edges. These edges. I don't know why I said it that way. It just came out that way, and I rolled with it. All right. Now we're gonna edge that. Kind of look like teeth a little bit. and how they're round. Like they have an edge, but they're also round. Rounded edge. Sharp enough to cut food, I guess. I don't know. And skin if you bite hard enough. Anyways, not that I would know. I don't never bit anything other than my tongue. That hurts. It hurts a lot. In fact, tongues are very sensitive. So yeah, I know how that feels. I've never eaten a person, so I don't really bite anybody. It's a weird segue, wasn't it? Anyways, we're making a boot here, all right? We're gonna get back on track. We're making a boot. And you know what? While we're here, we're gonna resharpen this edge around here. Right? Not a segue, but a weird tangent. But we're back. Oh, you know what? I messed up there. We don't want to cut into the corner. We want to create a corner from the rounded of the edge there, which is what we're doing now. Go around once again. I didn't really adjust this too much. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? It was probably from remeshing. Remeshing probably dulled the edges a little bit. Sometimes it happens, but it's okay. We're going to sharpen them. We're doing that right now. You see, I kind of put where the flaps are going to be. Little indentation there. That's what we're going to be working on after we're done with the thing here. The soles. We're just going to slowly sharpen everything up. The more we remesh it, meshing is going to make it a little round. So we're definitely, as soon as when we remesh, we're probably going to have to do a once over every time just to make sure that it doesn't do this. It has an edge now. What I want to do though is there is another edge or another face I would say to define. This should be a little ledge here. So maybe I could flatten the top of this some around the boot and make this a flat surface instead of like a slanted angle, like an angle into an edge and then down. It should go down and then flat and then down again. That's what I'm trying to achieve here inside of his leg. You don't have to worry about it in there. So we're going to go around and try to create that flat surface on top of the boot here. Hope that we can achieve that. Should be fine. I think. We want that edge there because if we ever have to light the boot, see, like if we lit a boot, see how it has kind of like this basic shadow here? We can use that. Now, this would be shaded. Okay, this would be shaded. But you have the light here. You got the light coming in here. And since this is facing up, I think this edge would be lighter. Or at least reflecting the light that's hitting this part, okay? Hang on 1 second. I got a phone call, okay? Okay, sorry about that. Had to step outside for a second. All right, but I'm back. We're gonna call it pretty soon here anyway, but I'm gonna do a once over around that edge that I was working on just now before I go. I want to thank you all for watching. Where's my? I don't know where my. I don't know where anything is. I don't know where my gambit glove is. Okay, I'm just gonna use the mouse from here on out because we're about to finish. All right, what was I? I don't know what the opposite of flatten is. Okay, I never used it before. You know what? We can try it right now. Is it that I opposite flatten it? I don't know. I can't tell. But yeah, we're going to continue to do this. All right. Well, this is scrape, right? Okay, yeah, we're scraping everyone. Okay, I'm a little disjointed now. I'm sorry. Not fully folk now. Okay, let's see. Scrape 20. All right, I'm gonna fix that little problem that we did there. All right, shift. I'm gonna shift. Oh, yeah, that's smooth, right? Wait, why am I asking? I know that's smooth. uh, okay. Boots. I'm just gonna do it over there because I don't have I didn't have that. I'm pretty sure I didn't have that over here, but I could be wrong. I don't know. All right. Okay, that is a little higher. I can see that now. Wait, so hang on. Oh yeah, that yeah. Okay, yeah, I messed up there. That should be flat. Shouldn't be that shouldn't be going up like that. It should be complete. That should be a completely flat surface. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. It's because I can't remove this leg here and see it. So I have to just do it with the leg in the way. Like I said, using hide hides both legs, so I can't really do it in that way. All right, so we're gonna bring that down as best as we can. It should be flat, but can't really see it. Just gonna go around that little area here. I'm sorry for the for the long pause there. We're about to stop anyway. I just wanted to go around the side and check the boots here. I'm looking. Let's see. The corners are still a little down. I think we could just bring them up, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. But that's what we got so far. We have to just adjust the shape and the placing a little bit more, but we have the grooves there. We have the lines. Uh, that should be good enough to make a starting point. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Got some boots going, making some progress, and that's it. Okay. Thank you all for showing for coming by today, showing up for the stream, watching it. If you're watching the VOD, thank you so much. Um, or on YouTube, I appreciate you all. I will be back tomorrow morning, and we're going to try to finish the boot, or at least get real close to it. Okay. So if you stop by, that's what you're going to see.